Hello everyone. So welcome back to our physics class. Now in today's class we will going to start with the revision of a syllabus as we have already covered up the syllabus of your unit test exam 2. Two chapters which we had already completed was energy chapter and the light chapter. So now today I will start with the revision of energy chapter. So let us begin with the topic energy. So basically first thing you should know what is energy, the definition of energy, the ability of doing work. Okay, the ability means the capacity of doing work is known as energy. So this is the definition of energy. Work and energy are two relative terms. Work is a kind of a term, whereas energy is another kind of a term, but they both are relative. So first of all, we should know what is work. When force is applied to a body, so suppose when you apply a force on a body and the body changes its position, so body will going to move from one place to another place. In that condition, you will say that the work has been done. But while applying the force, what is required by you? Energy is actually required. So whenever you apply force, your body will use energy which is present in your body, that is a muscular energy or any form of energy. So basically you can say that work and energy are two relative terms. As to do any form of work, if you want to do any kind of work, what is required? Energy is required. So you can say that work and energy are two relative terms. Then let us come to the unit of energy. Okay, since we know that work and energy both are relative terms, so the unit of work and unit of energy is also same. So energy is basically measured in joules. If you remember when we have discussed about work, work is also measured in joules. Similarly, energy is also measured in joules. But there is a condition, heat energy is measured in calories. So if you want to measure energy which is related to heat energy, then it is measured in calories. Otherwise, different forms of energies are measured in joules. What is 1 joule? And this kind of question sometimes they ask, what is 1 joule? 1 joule is defined as the amount of work done. That means if you want to do a work of any kind of a work, if you want to do and you require a force of 1 Newton, how much amount of force is required? 1 Newton. So 1 joule is defined as the amount of work done when a force of 1 Newton is applied to displace an object by 1 meter. So suppose an object is there, and to shift this object you require 1 Newton of force. How much amount of force? 1 Newton of force, and this body will going to displace from one place to another place and covers a distance of 1 meter. So 1 joule will be 1 Newton into 1 meter. Means when 1 Newton of force is applied to shift a body, to displace a body by a distance of 1 meter, then you can say 1 joule of work is said to be done. So the standard unit of energy is basically joules. But as I told you, when you measure heat energy, then it is measured in calories. So we should know what is calorie. A calorie is defined, or 1 calorie is defined as the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water. So suppose you have taken 1 gram of water, and if you want to heat and increase the temperature by 1 degree Celsius, so the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. So suppose you are having 1 gram of water, okay, and the temperature is 19 degree right now, and you heat it, the water quantity will remain same and the temperature changes to 20 degrees Celsius. So this change of temperature from 19 degree to 20 degree, this 1 degree change in temperature will require some amount of energy, and the amount of heat energy that will be required, it will be considered as calories. Now since calorie is very small unit, because generally we don't take 1 gram of water or 2 gram of water, and normally water or whatever substance we take in huge quantity. So in practical cases, kilocalorie is used to measure heat for practical purposes. So in practical purpose, we generally take kilocalories. Like suppose you people must have seen in food articles, suppose you buy a packet of chips or biscuit or any kind of a food item, in that condition at the back of the wrapper you will find that the calorie composition is always mentioned. That means if you eat that food item, how much amount of calorie your body will going to gain, and that is already generally measured in kilocalories. So let us learn how much is 1 kilocalorie. 1 kilocalorie is equals to 1000 calories. So 1 kilocalorie means 1000 calories. Now the relationship between calorie and joules. How much is 1 calorie and it is equal to how many joules? So 1 calorie is equals to 4.186 joules. So if you take 1 calorie, that means how much amount of joules of energy you are consuming? That is equals to 4.186. Or if you take 1000 calories or 1 kilocalories, that means it is equals to 4186 joules. So this relationship between calories and joules also you have to remember. So this is about the unit of energy. Now after talking about the unit of energy, the next is forms of energy. That we all already know that energy exists in different forms. So the first form and the very basic form of energy is the mechanical energy. So what is mechanical energy? It is the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy, which is denoted by ME, that is mechanical energy. Now we should know what is potential energy. The energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position or configuration. If you remember, I already told you, if a body is placed at a height, and when you release that body will fall with us energy. So the body which was placed at a height, it will have stored energy, and this stored energy is known as potential energy. So one example is there, water stored in dam. In your house also water tanks are there which are kept on the terrace, that is at a height in which the water is stored, and when water comes down or when you open the tap, the water flows out with a huge force. So you can say that that water which was stored at a height was having huge amount of potential energy. Second one, a configuration means a stretched bow. Suppose a bow is there, and when you stretch the string of the bow, it will going to store energy again, and this energy stored is known as potential energy. So it is by virtue of its position or configuration. Then the formula to calculate potential energy which is denoted by U, capital U, is equals to M into G into H. M for mass, G for gravity, H for height. Then second type of energy which is a part of mechanical energy is kinetic energy. The energy possessed by a body by virtue of its state of motion. So when the body is in motion, so suppose the water which was stored in the dam, that was having potential energy. But when the water starts flowing, this moving water, which kind of energy it will possess? It will possess kinetic energy. A ball is rolling on the ground, a child is running, a boy is cycling his bicycle. In those conditions, since the body is actually moving, you can say they are kinetic energy. So they possess kinetic energy. Example is rolling ball, flowing water, etc. Kinetic energy, the formula for kinetic energy is half into m into v square, where m stands for mass and v stands for velocity. Means with what speed, with what velocity the body is actually moving. So this is about mechanical energy, potential energy, and kinetic energy. I have already discussed the numericals based on these topics, so you people have to practice different types of numericals. Simple numericals you have to actually practice. Now, after talking about the mechanical energy, which consists of potential energy and kinetic energy, there is another form of energy is chemical energy. Energy that is stored in matter. Okay, so we know that everything is made up of matter, and the energy which is stored inside the matter that can become available for work through chemical process, that kind of energy is known as chemical energy. For example, fuels. We generally use fuels like coal, petrol, diesel, kerosene. They have chemical energy stored in them. Now whenever you burn them, whenever you heat them, in that condition they will release this kind of energy. So which is used for moving the vehicles from one place to another place, which is used for cooking your food at home. So different types of energy, different forms of things can be done by using this kind of energy, that is known as chemical energy. The next one is electrical energy. This energy is very useful in our modern world. The energy produced due to the flow of electric charge. So suppose wire is there, and when electric charges flows through the wire, a kind of energy is produced, and that kind of energy which is produced is known as electrical energy, and this energy is used to run various electrical appliances. So all our modern appliances will going to work with the help of this electrical energy. So without this form of energy, the world will not remain as modern world. So this is another kind of energy which is very important. Now, another form of energy is light energy. We all are aware about the light energy. We have already done the whole chapter that is based on this type of energy, that is light energy. So light is a form of energy that enables us to see objects around us. So whatever things you can see around you, it is because of this light energy. Another thing, plant use light energy of sun to prepare food. So during the process of photosynthesis, we all know that plants, they take this light energy which is coming from the sun, and they can prepare their own food. So this is another form of energy. Then next is a sound energy. What is sound energy? Sound is a form of energy which enables us to hear. So this topic also you will learn in detail as a whole chapter. So we should right now know what is sound energy. Sound is a form of energy which enables us to hear. It is produced due to vibration of objects. So when objects will going to vibrate, then the molecules around that object will also start vibrating, and it will going to produce vibration in your eardrums. And when your eardrums will going to vibrate, it will create a sensation of hearing, and signals will going to send to your brain, and your brain can read what kind of a sound has been produced, and you can understand that kind of sound. So this is how sound energy is also produced by the vibration of objects, and that is also useful for ourselves. So these are different types of energies which you people have to revise right now. Then we will going to continue with the different types of energy, the remaining part of energy and transformation of energy in the next class. Thank you everyone.